This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Jeff Gardner.
Welcome to another episode of the Good Neighbor Podcast. Today we have another good neighbor on, Jennifer Azevedo, Style Encore, Barrie. Jennifer, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, especially with the conversation we just had in the pre-show. I was just saying to Jen a second ago that we just had a phenomenal conversation that should have been recorded. That was my bad. So hopefully remember all that gold and get it going. Let's start from the top, though. People want to know, what is Style Encore? Jen, what do you do?
Sure. So what we do is we buy and sell gently used women's clothing, accessories, handbags, shoes. So when you want to get rid of any of your items, you bring them into us. We go through them, generate a quote for you, and offer you cash on the spot for whatever's we can purchase. So it's kind of nice. We're different than consignment. You don't have to wait to get your cash. We just pay it right out. And then, we just turn around and we resell it to the community. So it's nice because we are able to help the community with what a
fantastic love that. It's just a fantastic service. So female only clothing.
Right now, yes.
Okay. And boots, jeans, dresses, wedding gowns, bags,
jewelry,
leather gloves, hats,
yeah.
Jewelry too.
Yeah, so we do costume jewelry as well. We also, something people don't know about us is that we also do high-end designer here as well.
High-end designer.
So you can find all those big expensive handbags that you couldn't afford to buy new, or you wouldn't want to drop that cash on that because it's a big ticket item, and you can buy them here at a fraction of the cost.
Okay, so sorry, I think I misunderstood you. You don't sell them there brand new. You will get them from your consumer.
Yeah.
Right. So they will offer them to you. You'll give them the price, but you will offer high-end designer material at your store.
Yes.
Wow, I don't know why that was so difficult for me to say. My brain and my mouth kind of glitched a little bit there. Okay, so that's great. So that's what I was about to ask you is there, like, I always try to consider who the business main demographic is. Who are their main target market? Like us as a marketing company, we know we go for high ticket service items that help the family and the home, because our main consumers, or our main audience, is affluent communities like Midhurst, Horseshoe Valley, Shanty Bay, Kempenfelt Bay, Springwater, Midland, Tiny, these types of wealthy homeowners. So our job is to get clients that fit the mold, solve the problems of those types of families. Nothing wrong with the other communities, it's just that's our niche. So would you say you have one, or is it any type of female clothing that you accept?
It's really any type of female clothing. So we have your everyday mom that will come in, just looking for your average, athletic, just pair of tights and a t-shirt. And we do have those that come in that, they're looking for that big fancy designer handbag. So it's kind of all over there. We typically, our demographic is about the female who's about maybe 20 to maybe about 55, 60.
Okay, so even for the younger audience as well, they could come in there and, like you said, get the tights, the gym gear, things like that. Even shoes you have there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so my 13-year-old daughter actually comes in too, and she's able to shop here as well. So it's a lot of the brands, the Lululemon everybody goes crazy for, and it kind of crosses over all ages now, really.
Okay, so if I was an audience member listening to this and I didn't know of something like this, although I imagine many females do, I know of a few of my female friends who do this. They love fashion, typically more than my male friends.
Yeah.
Like I have like 3 uniforms for my whole life. If you looked at my closet, you like do something with all this empty space. But I like the simplicity. Put the same 4 or 5 tight shirts on me, 2 pairs of shoes, I'm good to go. But it seems like females are more in tune with their fashion sense than us Neanderthal men. Yeah. But if I was an audience member, I would be thinking, give me an example of a really good deal or something like that. Like, is there a Gucci bag that would normally be $4,000 that's now whatever it is? Like, what is the difference in cost? I guess would be a better question.
Yeah, so you're looking at, let's say, for keep it simple. I'll give you an example of Lululemon tights, for example. They run anywhere for about 100 and something bucks in the store. We sell them here for about $32 to $34. So we are retailing stuff 70 to 90% off of retail. For example, that Gucci bag, we just sold one for about 600 bucks, roughly 680, I think it was. And those run for, thousands of dollars. Even, your Saint Laurent bags I have one for about 850 bucks, which is a steal. Yeah, so you can get and then you can also get your Joe Fresh, $8 shirt here as well. So we have quite that range.
So that's amazing. Especially the Lulu. I imagine you'll get some people coming in for the Gucci bags and things like that. But the Lulu, that's a hot ticket item.
Oh yeah.
And $30, that's huge. So now let me ask a little bit more about the lightly used. Is there a certain box that you need to check? Some things that you won't accept, some things that are ideal? When I'm a consumer or I'm your audience, what do I need to look at for the clothing to make sure that I can essentially sell them to you?
So we want to make sure that they're free of any stains and tears. You also wanted to make sure that there's no pilling happening on them. Nothing's been altered. So those are some things that we look for. The big things is that they have to have a size tag on them. So we know how to size them. It just makes it easier for the consumer to shop. And also they've got to be within trend of the last 2 years.
Ah, I like that last one. Okay. So, I mean, really, when I come in there and I'm shopping for my sister, girlfriend, whatever, and I look at those Lulus, especially because I love the gym and Lulus are great, male and female. Some of the best out there, I would argue. A little pricey, though. I'm looking at them and they look pretty much brand new by the metrics that you just shared.
So we even actually have we have events surrounded around Lululemon as well, where we'll hold back all of that inventory and bring it out. And you'd be amazed at how much still has the tags on from the store that people just got as a gift, bought that they forgot that they had it, just didn't like it anymore, forgot it in their closet. So we have events where Lulu is the show. And then we also have new with tag events as well, where we have bins and bins of stuff we bring out that the items still have their price tags on them and all their tags from the stores that are literally brand spanking new. Awesome.
So rather than just throwing out my clothing, like I was telling you in the pre-show, I work at an addiction treatment center on the weekend, my way to give back, and it's involved in my family, whatever the case is. It's called Cornerstone Recovery, and so we donate clothing there. I've only been there for 3 years, though. And that is how long I've been donating clothing. Prior to that, I probably just tossed it. Like, I don't want this anymore. It doesn't fit me. Gone. How much clothing I've thrown out over my 37 years on this planet is probably, I don't know, hundreds of pounds worth. A lot. Let's just say that. So now for the female that's listening to this, if she is throwing things out, now she has an option to get a few bucks. Also gets to walk in and see all the fashion you have that she can get at a reduced cost. And, for the people that want to know this, I think that's one of the benefits of donating is, that someone else can use this now. So
absolutely.
They can sell it to you, get a couple bucks so you feel a bit of that reward, but also, that someone else can benefit from these clothings that maybe you're just not into anymore. They don't fit because you've had a body transformation. Whatever the case is, you can check a lot of boxes. I think it's fantastic that you guys do this.
Yeah. So and then it's also for the environment too, right? Like, just like you mentioned, getting rid of just dumping all the clothing. It's amazing how much clothing and fast fashion ends up in the landfills, right? So it's just trying to get, help the environment as well and the community there as well. But we also have another perk to selling to us. If you buy and sell on the same day, you could take your quote, apply it to your purchase. You also save on your quote will act like a credit towards your purchase, and you'll also save on some taxes as well that way. So you can, as I say, as long as you take a little bit out, you can put a little bit in, but it's a good way to keep things fresh and change up your wardrobe without, spending a fortune.
So I come in, again, assuming I'm a female or coming in with female clothing, right? As long as I need to have female clothing, a man can come do it, right?
Yeah.
So I come in, bring a couple pairs of pants, bring a couple shirts, bring a hat, bring some shoes. I get whatever it is, 50, 60 bucks, and then pick up a few things at the same time that will go towards that new bill. And I'll get the new clothing for even reduced cost. Plus I save on taxes. How do we save on taxes that way?
You got it. So it'll deduct the amount of your quote off of your taxes as well.
Right.
Yeah. So it's almost like buying a used car, right? Or trading in a used car.
I like it.
Yeah. So I've had customers come in, they've sold to me, they've walked away with a few new pieces and also some cash in their hand too.
That sounds like a win. When
Yeah.
are you guys getting the mail side of this, Jen?
We're not sure yet. So it is in our plans there. So I'm just trying to work out some space where I'm going to put you guys on the floor. It'll be about 10% of our business. So
I would love it. I mean, I'm pretty
we can
frugal.
ask every day.
Yeah. And I mean, I love branding. That's what we do, but I don't really care so much to spend more because it's a brand. Like I remember the example, some of my business coaches and people that I follow, when they're using retail and clothing to share the power of branding, they will often use Supreme. You've heard of that company before, right? It's a white t-shirt, $72, because it's got a Supreme sticker basically ironed onto it. That same white t-shirt done in your basement could look the exact same for like $7.
Yeah.
So you're talking like 1,000% markup. Yeah. So I don't care so much about that. For me, it's more fit, feel, and function.
Right.
So I don't care if it's a Nike or if it's this or that. And if I could get the shirt, especially the gym shirts, that's a big deal for me for $10 or $20.
That's what we'd be focusing on for men's. It's more of like that casual athletic wear.
Perfect. That is my box. Outside of business wear, which is just a little bit more dressy than this, like maybe a collar, you'll still probably find me in shorts.
Yeah.
That's my jam. I want to be comfortable. And
that's what I find up here being in Barrie. It's people are looking more for comfort now, right? So like our athletic wear sells amazing. Lulu, like I said, sells amazing. So it's just, people are looking for comfort more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, I look at a lot of these things as an extension of who we are. I want to share with people who I actually am. I don't want to be a chameleon like they used to teach us in sales. You want to be what your environment demands of you. And that meant you got 100 different versions of me. No one quite knew who you were talking to. But I'm a gym guy, so I've worked a lot on the body. So I want tight. I want it to be comfortable, so not restricting. Yeah. And mainly I want to, it's that comfort and not restricting part. All the dress pants and golf shirts and dress shirts aren't really designed for somebody with my shape. The broad shoulders and it didn't fit well. Also, I would sweat in it and you get the pit stains. The gym gear is where that's my wheelhouse.
That's where my husband is now. He's just lost a bunch of weight himself. So we could never really buy those nice, just buying a nice t-shirt for him to go out on a Friday night or a pair of jeans. It was crazy the amount of stores we'd have to go through and the amount of money that I'd have to spend when we found something. It's whatever, just buy it. But now, so now he's lost a bunch of weight and he's all into the same thing. He wants the comfort and sometimes the nicer fitting shirts and so he's been bugging me. Right. Come on, you got to get men's in there too. It's not fair.
Yeah, no, it's not fair, Jen. Come on.
You're taking over my side of the closet, so he wants to get in on that too.
Yeah, I'd love it. I mean, when you feel good, when you feel like you look good, everything changes and you're more confident, you're more pleasant, you're not worrying. Like I do a lot of public speaking, so I get out on stage and I'll never forget the very first time it was a large audience. I was in a gray dress shirt, black dress pants, whatever. I was in that business casual and there was a few hundred people in the audience. And of course I was nervous as heck. This was a long time ago. And the pit sweat mark went like down to my rib cage. And those were the pictures that were taken. Like it's burnt into my memory. But now you'll catch me on that same stage with kind of a gym t-shirt because it still looks good. You don't look like you're not taking life seriously. It still looks good. They've made it presentable in this day and age. Anyway, I don't want to talk to you about my style of fashion for the next 30 minutes.
It's all about the way that you.
Thank you for.
it's all about the way that you style things too, right? There's so much stuff in store that, for example, I've got one employee, Liz. She's amazing. She'll take any piece of clothing in the store and put together this whole amazing outfit, and I'm just in awe because I was like, holy cow, you layered so much in there. You put so much together, and you could just, take your simple pieces and make so many different outfits out of them. And with a place like this, it gets me excited because your dollar can stretch and you can get that, massive, huge wardrobe if you wanted, and you didn't have to break the bank. And you can just change up all your outfits, whether you add a scarf or some jewelry or, a blazer to your outfit. You throw on a blazer with a pair of jeans and there you go. You can go out, and like you said, that business casual, right? It's just, it's crazy the amount of, it's limitless what you can do in here.
Well, that's great. So her name was Liz?
Liz, yeah, she's great.
And she sounds like a professional shopper almost.
Yeah, like she's awesome. She's when she does our mannequins, everybody just compliments them, and she's great. Yeah, I can't say enough amazing things about her.
Well, I'll have to meet her one day. I don't know if I use the right terminology. A professional shopper comes to mind when I'm going in there and I'm trying to buy something and I have an expert help me.
So on that note too, Liz, yeah, so it's like a personal shopper kind of.
Personal shopper.
We call her a stylist. Liz will also style you as well. You can book an appointment with us, and I just have a questionnaire you fill out, and Liz will put together a wardrobe for you, and you come in, spend some time with her, and she'll put together pieces for you, which is nice because sometimes you don't really think that, you might like that or that's not my style. So if somebody else puts something together for you, you might, just try it on. You might like it.
Yeah. And honestly, my ego is kicking in. There's almost nothing that feels better than you going to a place and the professional there, even though they're making money, it doesn't matter. And they say, wow, that looks great on you.
Yeah.
Oh, those pants fit so great. That shirt fit. Oh, really? Really? Well, maybe I'll buy a little bit more then.
Exactly. Yeah. I'll take one in every color.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm horrible with fashion. Like I am horrible with fashion. I'm pretty colorblind. So the colors I like, black and gray. I live in the land of shades, basically. We say, facetiously.
What? I did too until I started this up.
You weren't a good
about the black and gray and the girl. I have to say my staff here is amazing. And they're even telling me all the time, like, hey Jen, do you like this or do you like that? So the girls here with their creativity, that's where they're amazing. I'm more of the, let me read this spreadsheet or I'll take care of all the paperwork, and they have their creative mind going. And the staff, I have to say, I'm very lucky here. They're all amazing.
So opening up this place, metaphorically and literally speaking, brought color into your life.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
It's just the people that I've met in this community, I can sit down and we've cried and we've laughed. They come in every day almost to see us. They'll bring me a coffee. They'll bring the staff a coffee, and they're amazing.
Well, now I'm jealous, Jen, because I love making people cry. I think it's a great thing. So we're going to have to cry sometime soon.
Yeah. Now I actually have fun coming into work, and I just meeting these people has been great.
Yeah. No, the community is great. Do you live somewhere in Simcoe County?
We live in Bradford.
Okay. So pretty close by. And where's the business?
In Barrie. So we're just located on Essa Road in between Mapleview and Mapleton in the Food Basics Plaza here.
Beautiful. Go there all the time. How long you been in business and how big's the team?
So we have about 10 girls now.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been about 2.5 years now.
Is this the first business you've owned?
Yeah. I come from the automotive industry.
So, oh, that's quite a switch.
Yeah. So this is my first retail job here.
And how has the 2.5-year journey of entrepreneurship been for you, Jen?
It's been hard. I'm not going to lie.
Thank you for the honesty, because we all knew that answer was coming.
It's been hard.
Anything else would have been a lie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, last week I was here flipping the store. The girls were looking at me like, are you going to go home yet? And I couldn't walk by the end of the week. I was broken, but we got it done, and the store is now flipped and everything looks great. We're still working on, putting fall winter stuff out, but
is that what flipping means? Changing seasons?
Yeah. Changing the store over. Yeah. So it was hard with the kids too. I have 2 little ones. My husband,
little?
So my daughter just turned 13 and my son just turned 9.
Okay.
So it's a little bit
Soon
tough.
to be big.
Yeah. So luckily I have my parents who've helped us out quite a bit.
Awesome.
They live on the same street as me now. So I'm really lucky and blessed where my mom was able to, pick them up, drop them off at school, cook dinner for my husband because he doesn't know how. And I basically lived here.
I like this guy. What's his name?
Yeah, it's Chris.
Chris. So Chris just he just went through a fitness is a big part of his life. You said, right?
Yeah, now it is. Yeah.
And he doesn't know how to cook. How is he with fashion?
I basically lay it out for him and he wears it.
I need to meet this guy.
Yeah.
This is me with a different name. Not good at cooking,
family,
fitness. Right? Somebody else dress me, please. Somebody please dress me and feed me. I'll make my way to the gym. I'll work hard at my business. Please do the rest.
Yeah. My mom's house is just, 10 houses over, and she would give him his bag ready for lunch the next day.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Here's your lunch bag, Chris.
No, I'm super lucky. If it wasn't for my parents, I wouldn't be where we are today. So
awesome. Well, I imagine your parents will watch this. So hi, parents. You're great. Yeah. I love talking to your daughter. And Chris.
Yeah.
I don't know you yet, but I feel like we are kindred spirits. So I'm going to virtually dap you and enjoy the show, buddy.
Yeah, he comes.
Let's get into the story of why you did this, Jen.
So basically to have more.
He comes in Tuesdays?
Sorry,
you said he comes in on Tuesdays?
He comes in sometimes and he helps out. So customers get to know him too. They get excited when they see him. He helps us with moving bins around to our storage unit. So we've nicknamed him our bin boy. Yeah. So
I bet he loves that.
Yeah.
Cute little moniker.
Yeah.
No, I love that your family's involved with your life in a big way, that Chris is involved in the business. I really heard you when you said the community has been a big part to you enjoying this work. And then 2 minutes later, you said it's also been very hard. So that's a great thing, because we're going to talk about hard things on the show shortly. But often people equate hard to negative. If I'm doing something hard, it can't be good. I reject that statement. I often think through the hard, we get to the good.
Yeah.
But even if the hard may be negative, there are still other good factors.
And you learn along the way.
Yes, you do.
There's so much to learn out there. And nothing comes easy. You got to work hard at it.
Nothing good comes easy, I like to say.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah. So I was talking about in the pre-show, I was saying that learning, I think, is one of the greatest superpowers for human beings. But there's no but to that. It just comes from my interest in human beings in general. I'm fascinated by our species, which would be a good thing because I'm a human, I think.
Yeah.
But I think we communicate through storytelling.
Yeah.
I think we evolve through storytelling. I just think storytelling is a major, major factor to us being the humans that we are, differentiates us from AI that's trying to take over our world maybe, or that we're scared will take over the world. Yeah. They'll never be able to do these types of things. So the backstory to a human being, the context of where they are now, is often so intriguing for me. I'm fascinated by it. So the question for you is, how did you get to this place? What made you go from automotive to retail, fashion, especially this type of fashion? There's not a lot of you out there.
No.
Doing this.
It actually all started over my brother-in-law's birthday dinner. We had gone out, and I have a family friend that owns the Style Encore in Burlington. So we were sitting at the table. I was sitting across from her, and we got to talking, and I was asking her about her store, and she says, you know what, why don't you open one up? So I kind of thought, I don't know. And I looked into it, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it. And it was a lot of hard work in the automotive industry. And I thought, if I'm going to work this hard, I'm going to do it for myself, and I'm going to succeed doing it too. So, that whole family work-life balance, which I didn't have before. Now actually, it's getting better now. Now I'm able to drop my kids off at school. So we're getting somewhere. Before I was just MIA. But yeah, no, I'm able to, be home for dinner or drop them off at school, be there to, go to a field trip or where I didn't have that before. So that was just the main reasons why. And with Chris being in construction, he's got long hours. So at least I can kind of, be there for the kids and take them places. And I wanted to show them too that, look what mommy can do. Mommy could have been a breadwinner too. And it's not just, dad working and dad's able to pay the bills, and, I can do that too. So it was mainly to show my daughter, like, there's no limits to what you can do. And, you want something, go out there and you go get it yourself.
That, had you not said that, that would have been my question, because what you were saying is, oh, I was in the automotive industry and my cousin said this. It was your cousin?
It was a family friend.
Family friend. So my family friend said this was a good thing and to go do it. If we all acted on all of our friends' recommendations, our lives would look very, very different, right?
Yeah.
Just because a friend recommends something to me, it's like, oh, great, maybe I'll think of that.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't expect me to make an entire life and career change just from a small recommendation.
I've actually shocked myself because I'm not a risk taker at all. So I'm still shocked that, wow, I did that. I if you asked me back then where I'd be today, I would have said you were crazy. No way.
And that's a common response to that. And often people think that being an entrepreneur is more risky than being an employee. And I reject that statement now as well. Being on both sides of the coin, as long as I'm an employee, my livelihood and my future is in the hands of somebody else to a large degree.
Yeah.
And, employees will say, well, they can't just fire me for no reason. Yeah, they can. It's called a layoff with no reason. And then they just give you severance and now you're gone.
And I've gone through that too. I've
gone
through different plants with, plant closures and, the layoffs and all of that. And you just seeing it's traumatizing for families there. And so I said, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to control myself and my future.
So that's the big one for me is, I am the master of my own destiny. Mm-hmm. If I believe that to be true, then I better start acting accordingly. If I really want to steer this ship myself, then I have to act in such a way.
Exactly.
Or I become an employee and someone else is steering the ship. And again, for anybody listening, there's nothing wrong with being an employee. I just found for me that I wanted my destiny to be my own, success or failure. I wanted to find out what I was capable of. And I didn't think I could do that as an employee. And it seems like you feel the same way. But what really resonated with me, because I look at parenthood as the highest honor, really as an honor for human beings, for mothers, for a female to be a mother, for a father to be a father. I can't speak to the female side, but I imagine it's the same. I do not think there is a higher level for a man than to create a human and give a lifelong commitment to give more than you get. Yeah. So I revere parents. I also have a great relationship with my parents, probably where that seed's been planted. But I have a lot of respect for people that do very hard things and the character they develop through those hard things. Yeah. I don't think there's anything harder than being a parent. I know my parents, I gave them a run for their money. Oh boy, did I ever test them.
My mom tells me all the time, I wouldn't want to be a parent today. They have their whole other challenges now. It's different.
This may seem like a silly question and it may seem like an obvious answer, but we're on the podcast and I like asking questions. It seemed like that doing something greater for yourself than being an employee in the automotive industry was a box you wanted to check. But from your statement, at least the way I interpreted it, it seemed like it was more important to show your daughter what you were capable of as a female. You said specifically your daughter, not your son, although I imagine you want to show your son too, but it's that female empowerment.
Yeah.
Why is that such a big thing for you, Jen?
So we're Portuguese, right? So the typical, I look at all of my aunts and, majority of them barely speak English. They stay home, they cook and clean, and it's the husband that runs the show. So we grew up like that too. Dad went to work, mom stayed home. She just raised us and cooked and cleaned. And not that there's anything wrong with that. If I can, do that, I would too. But I don't know.
You would do that?
I would do that. Yeah. I just being raised by it too. I don't know. If I had, limitless money and, no issues out there, maybe I would have had another child and stayed home. But then I find that you get bored. So I like having the drive of being here too. That's keeping me going as well. But it's that sense too of feeling important and contributing to the family too that I like. I just don't want my daughter to have to rely to anybody to get in anywhere that she wants in the future, right? it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay for people to, guide you and whatever. But I want her to be able to, say, hey, this is what I want. I'm going to go get it and I'm going to do it. Actually, she was talking about being a welder the other day. So I took her to Georgian College, and they had a skills trade for women. And she got to see all the women up there, and they all told their story. And she was actually pretty good when they tested her with the welder. So, maybe that's something that she wants to do. But, there's nothing that a man can do that a woman can't do too. So I don't know.
I just love that train of thought. I really, really do. In all seriousness, finding out, I believe we are born with almost limitless potential. I said this on a few shows before, and I've written this down and tried to really dig into it. I don't imagine there's ever been a person that went to their last day before their final day, and said, I have maxed out the capability of my body, my heart, and my mind.
Never.
I doubt that's been the case. So for as long as we've been around, if that's true, that no one has ever maxed out what we are capable of, then as far as I'm concerned, we're limitless.
Yep.
And I believe we were born with that potential, but I believe it has to be earned. Yep. I'm not just going to wake up tomorrow and be a world-class pianist or an Olympian. I was born with the capability to do that, but it has to be earned. And the message that you're putting out there is gender doesn't matter. You're capable of so much. And just because we did this, we were raised this way, this traditional style way, that's an option for you. But here's this other option as well. Yeah. And at least with this other option, again, not throwing shade on that traditional style of that nuclear family where the man runs it and the women's home cleaning, cooking, taking care of the kids. If you want to do that, you can do that. But that does mean you're reliant upon somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just by its nature. If there is no breadwinner in that situation, what do? You're forced to go out and do.
Yeah.
Rather than what you're putting out there is find out what you like, find out what you're capable of, see how strong you are, see how smart you are, push yourself, and then decide from there. And if you happen to marry and the breadwinner is the man and you decide to stay home, you have that option. But if things ever go south, we were talking about risk before.
Yeah.
I want to stack the deck in my favor for being as prepared as possible for any potential catastrophes that come my way.
Yeah.
There is, a death, there's a loss, there's COVID, there's whatever.
Well, and that was my worry too. Yeah. With Chris being in the construction industry, it's hard on their body. He's not going to be able to do it forever. And God forbid, if he were to ever get hurt, what do we do?
Right.
So, and this way, I'm able to run my own business. I'm able to maybe be a breadwinner one day and spend time with my kids at home too, and take them here and there and actually, show them, travel or do whatever with them and have the freedom to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to just do it all. Yes. Wonder Woman, right?
It feels pretty damn good though, doesn't it? Just to be able to say that. And I can see that you're convicted in it just by the look on your face.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling. One of the things that entrepreneurship has given me is it's given me the opportunity to develop skills that can solve problems for other people, that can leave me with the feeling of being useful to my community.
Absolutely.
Rather than being a suck, like a leech on my community, constantly taking, I need from you, Jen, I need from you, I need from you.
Yeah.
I do need things. We all do. But I hope that I give back at least that or more to contribute. And, there's my little saying back there and also on my wrist, but that's Ralph Waldo Emerson. One of the things he talks about is success is leaving the world a little better than you found it, whether it's through a happy or healthy child, whether it's through a garden patch. If you know that you made one person's life better because of you, that is what success is. Yeah. And I think one of the ways to do that is by developing useful skills. Running a business, by definition, I define it as businesses exist to solve problems for a price.
Yep.
You solve a problem, you get paid for it. And then if you want to do philanthropy, provide more opportunity, you get so many more things by amassing more of that resource, money for opportunity, things like that. So I just love that you're putting that out there. And that whole philosophy that you just gave us, Jen, totally derailed this entire conversation. And now I'm 3 questions behind. So I'm putting that on you. So a big part of what we're trying to do here is education. I'm not just trying to have a fun conversation and let people know about your business so that they can shop there, know that there's other things available to them. Maybe some people don't know. But we also talk about education in a big way. So this question is about myths and misconceptions. I look at a misconception as simply an idea that was misconstrued or not properly interpreted. Like I give you information, it was taken the wrong way, or broken telephone, I just gave you the wrong information. I use the example like seatbelts. People didn't use seatbelts until they found out the value of a seatbelt. If you tried to sell me on wearing a seatbelt before I knew the negative outcomes that not wearing a seatbelt could pose on me, I probably wouldn't have worn it. Like wearing a helmet when I'm riding my bike. It didn't look cool. It didn't feel good. But then once you educate me, it's like, well, no, wearing that helmet can do this, and this. Now you have more people wearing helmets. So what are some misconceptions? I can think of a couple for your business, but without me, that you could clarify for us maybe.
A lot of people think we're just, this big expensive fancy store here.
Expensive?
And, yeah.
Wow.
So I've had a comment where, wow, we thought you only had super expensive things in here. And I'm
Really?
like, no, we have your, everyday brands, like I said here, your Gap, Joe Fresh. We even carry, Shein, Fashion Nova. So you do have the wide variety of brands and price points here. The other thing is people think so if we get an item that has new with the tag still on it, we'll leave that tag on to show the customer that, yeah, hey, it's still brand new. And hey, look how much this thing actually costs in the store. But this is what our price tag looks like. And this is the fraction of the cost you're buying it for. So a lot of people get that mixed up too. They're like, wow, this sweater's $80. I'm like, no, actually it's like 15. So that's where I think a lot of people get confused too with our floor.
Okay. So you said a lot of people think it's a really expensive store and they can't afford it. That sounds like, Jennifer, that sounds like you have a branding problem a little bit. I wonder if there's somebody out there that can help you with your marketing.
Yeah.
Cheeky little plug there. But one of the things that I was going to, first off, thank you for clarifying that, because people, I mean, if your audience is thinking that, just go in.
Yeah.
I haven't even been in there, but that's the wrong thing to think about your store.
Yeah. Yeah.
If anything, you're going to they can't get it cheaper than they can get it for you, essentially, unless you buy it from a friend or something, right? I mean, that's the whole idea of your store, is you can get the stuff that you love out there for a significantly reduced cost. So essentially no one can beat you in price.
Yeah, actually, we've had comments too that, wow, other thrift stores around us too have been, a lot more pricier than us. And I said, yeah, everybody's just price gouging, that it's, these
I didn't even think of other thrift stores. Right. I didn't think of you as a thrift store because are you?
Yeah,
I don't know. Oh, you are. So thrift just means used, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the misconceptions that I had in my head, again, totally green about this industry, but some of your audience is going to be, I don't know if I want to wear somebody's used clothing, or is the quality there, or what about sweat stains, blah, blah, blah.
And those are some of the things that we look for. We are human. We do miss things. If, there's the sweat stains or whatever, or, it's missing a button here or there. But like I said, we do sort, and that's where the difference is with us, is we actually look at each piece and we see if it would sell. Can we sell it? And what is the quality like on it? So I think that's a little bit different with us here, is that we actually touch each piece that goes out on our floor.
So that's a big deal for me right there, because I have no problem if this computer has been used by 7 people before me. If my phone, like, none of that matters to me. I just need to know that it functions and looks the way it is, and give it to me for reduced cost. Big win.
Well, you go to the mall too, and people return stuff that they've taken home.
Right. Didn't even think of that.
People try it on in store. So
it's
already been worn in the store or returned, right? Like, so how do you even know it's brand new when you're buying it at the store?
Wow. I didn't even think of that, Jen. And that's one of the benefits of these conversations.
Bring it home, wash it, and it's like brand new.
So when you get clothing in, I don't imagine everybody's bringing you washed clothes all the time, you're probably getting some, like, I take it off from the gym and like, I don't want this, I'm going to bring it to Jen. You wash them, I'm assuming.
No, we don't. So we would just pass on it. So if there are any odors coming from it, or if there, like I said, any stains, tears, pilling, no size on there, or if it's not within trend of the last 2 years, it goes back in your bag that you brought it into us to, and then that will go back home with you. So you'll take back your passes if there are any, and then we'll quote you on whatever it is that we wanted to quote you on. So we separate them into our own bins.
Beautiful. Okay. So they got to come to you clean, looking good. It should be pretty much undistinguishable between a new shirt, essentially, a new pair of pants. Yeah. And then what do you recommend when people buy them? Just give them a wash like you would with new clothing anyways. Although I never do that. I just put the socks on right away, but I'm constantly told to wash them after leaving the store.
I like to, there's people here that will just, hey, I need a sweater for today, or it's cold outside, I forgot my sweater. Me. Or like I said, the girl that was in here, she had a job interview in about a half an hour and she needed an outfit. So it all depends on you, right? If you feel comfortable. There's stuff, like I said here, brand new with the tags still on. We have whole events on the weekend about, like, with racks and racks of stuff that are still brand new with the tags on them.
Beautiful. Let's talk about just a couple minutes about these events. What is it? Is there something coming up? Give us an idea about them.
Yeah. So for example, this Friday, we're having a favorite brands drop this weekend. So what we do is, as we buy stuff from the community, we set them aside into our own separate bins for these events. And then we bring them all out. So it's all like, it's like a new product, new inventory launch where we're doing Lululemon, Zara, and Aritzia. So we had a whole bunch of clothing that we've held back, and we're just going to release it all that day.
So how do people find out about that?
So we have social media that they follow us on. We also have a text messaging system where we'll send out like a mass text message or email to everybody. Yeah, so we have the loyalty program points, which is something they would sign up for. It's free. They can get discounts once they get certain levels of points. And then from there, they get like it's like a communication way too for us.
Nice.
Yeah.
A little way of connecting with your audience. Beautiful. I love it, Jen. I love this idea. It's a great concept. The recycling of stuff rather than wasting. I think we waste a ton of stuff in the Western part of the hemisphere. And, I think just a lot of us have been privileged to grow up in this world. Yeah. And, having 25 T-shirts is not an uncommon thing. I've had girlfriends that have had, no kidding, and I'm sure this is not a surprise to you, over 100 pairs of shoes. 100 pairs of shoes.
I just filled all of our size 6.5, 7s on the floor with all of my shoes. So I'm not one. Yeah. No, I went through my closet within half an hour. I filled about a whole big bin full, brand new and never even worn. So I'm guilty of it too, where,
you like what you like.
Yeah.
But so to know that it's being not going in a landfill, someone else can use it. You love this once, maybe someone can love it again, get a couple bucks, buy it. Like, it's a great thing.
Yeah.
But let's pivot a little bit.
We recycle, and all the hand-me-downs between all of my cousins and us with our kids, it was always big with us.
That's great. That's great. One article of clothing being used by a couple generations sometimes and still fashionable and look good. No, it's
Absolutely.
Great.
Yeah.
Let's pivot and talk about you a little bit, Jen. As I've been belaboring, I've been enjoying this conversation too much. We've only gotten through about half. So, but most importantly is I want to know about you. And I think the audience would agree to that. I think your business is great, and I'm looking forward to stopping by. What puts a smile on your face, Jen? Outside of your business, can't be business related.
Just seeing my kids happy.
Come on, you got to give me more than that.
No, it's I'm pretty boring. As long as my kids are happy, my family, everybody is healthy, there's nothing more that you can want with that,
Okay. I love that. It's a great response, and I believe it to be true. Hobbies though. What's favorite book, favorite food, movie?
I love reading.
Love reading. Fiction, nonfiction.
Nonfiction. When I have time.
What kind of nonfiction are you reading there, Jen? My ears just perked up. Nonfiction behind me. Love it.
Kind of like murder mysteries. I like reading. I don't know. sometimes it takes me about a year to get through a book. The girls laugh at me here because they're such quick readers. And I was like, oh, still reading that one. But yeah, so I like to read. We recently just bought a trailer. Um, yeah, so I was fortunate. Like I said, staff is amazing. Who can do that within their first, couple of years of having a business here? So we were able
Who
to
can do what? Take a vacation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have weekends away. Yeah.
Do you go away every weekend?
We try to in the summertime. Yeah. Yeah. So just a little, everybody is so, the whole hustle and bustle during the week. We just like to take that Saturday, Sunday, and we go to the trailer park there and the kids swim and, we sit by the fire and have dinners and barbecues together and, kind of get away. Whereas at home, I'd be cooking, cleaning, or, there's always laundry to do, or there's always something to organize, or, running around. This one has this class, that one has that class. Right. So it's nice to just get away and shut down for a weekend. Although I'm with my phone in my face all the time. I can't shut it off completely, but it's nice to just get away with them.
Okay. So let's dirty little secret. What are you doing on that phone, Jen? What are you scrolling away at? Come on.
Working.
Even in the trailer?
All hours, 24/7. These girls know whatever they message me, I'm there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm very
favorite. Did you say that again?
I'm too hands-on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's running a business. I was told the first step to becoming a business owner is taking agency over your life from being an employee. Employee, you don't have agency over your life in a large degree. Someone else is steering the ship, as we talked about.
Yeah.
But my mentor told me the first step, if you want to become an entrepreneur, is you must take control over your own life, right? You must steer your own ship. So that's saying all the responsibilities are on me. There is no more blame to anybody else. Everything is maybe not my fault, but my responsibility. If a tornado takes the roof off, not my fault. I got to deal with it though.
Yeah.
So she told me that the first step is taking full agency, ownership, control over your own life. She said that should get you to about 6 figures, maybe in your first year, maybe in your 5th year in income, right? Once you hit that, somewhere around there, like that's 70 to 100 grand, roughly speaking. Every industry is a little different.
Yeah.
But running everything yourself should take you to close to 6 figures in income. Once you get there, now you must drop the control and start delegating and trusting everybody else. So it's like
I have a problem.
And we all do. Most of us do. These two really competing ideas. Controlling everything yourself is not dependent on anybody else and has nothing to do with trust outside of trusting yourself. That's what you're saying. I'm going to run this race myself. But eventually, if you want to scale upwards, go to the next rung, you have to eventually say, this race is undoable on my own now. I must have a team. And if I micromanage the shit out of everybody, they're going to hate me.
Yep.
And I will burn this race down before it starts. And that's the place that works.
All the time is I need to kind of lay back a little bit, and I do, like I said, on weekends, I go away and the girls, they still, if they have any questions, they contact me, but it's hard to be away on the weekends. But I try, I need my sanity too. And the kids and stuff need me at home a little bit. I have to tend to them. But yeah, no, that's one thing that I think I will struggle with. And it's, I think I was raised that way in a way. It's just, dad ran the show at home. He ran the show at work and, it was his way or the highway. And, he was always in there. It was work, where now he's learning to lay back at 70, 71 now. So.
Well, from my experience, Jen, all I deal with is entrepreneurs, right? Those are our clients. So we've done about 300 podcasts, but I've been doing this for over a decade. We do B2B, business to business. So every client of mine, every meeting I have is with the owner of a business, never the manager, never the GM. I need to speak to the decision maker. That's almost always the owner. So I have had the privilege of having thousands of hours of conversations with entrepreneurs. I've gotten great advice from entrepreneurs. I've learned a great many cautionary tales. And there's no doubt in my mind that the best entrepreneurs, the ones with the most successful companies, have the same problem you and I do with the delegation and the trusting of everybody else. And it's not because they're not trustworthy.
Right.
It's because they built this baby that they are so passionate about. They are in with both feet, fully committed to this thing and materializing and manifesting their vision, that it's a big struggle as a human that's built something they love so much to start giving it away to other people. Yeah. So all of the best business owners that I know, all of them struggled with this same thing. And the advice that I got was, it's going to be a struggle. Be happy it's a struggle, because that means you care a lot about this thing. If you were willing to just give everybody a piece of it immediately, it's like, you probably don't care about it. So that's a sign that you care about it. It will be a struggle. Be happy that it is. And over time, you'll build these great relationships with people because they see how much you care about it. Yeah. They follow that care and passion the same way. And over time, it'll slowly even itself out, is what I've been told. We have a pretty large team. I wouldn't say it's evened out. I still am struggling with it. But when you have a great team and you build a great culture, it just slowly happens on its own. And all of a sudden, one day, I just went away to Algonquin for 5 days with my partner. So the 2 bosses are gone. So no more seniors around. We have our office manager, we have our design team. And lo and behold, our business did not explode.
Yeah.
It's like, holy moly, they are capable without us. And we needed that lesson in a big way. It kind of humbled us that maybe we aren't as good as we thought we were, and that these people are much better than we thought.
Yeah.
But the fact is that
I had a similar experience. We had conference here and we went to Nashville. So my husband's like, yep, we're going. And I'm like, nope, we're not. We got to stay here with work.
Nope,
and
we're not.
He's like, nope, we're going to go. You need a break. We need to go. It's good to go and network with everybody else there. And I thought, you know what? Okay, you're right. So we went to Nashville and the place didn't blow up. We were great. We had great sales. The team was on it. And
crazy, right? Who would have thought?
Yeah. So then we went off again. We went to Dominican last year. So, it's like I said, the staff here is amazing. And I was still, working from there too, if they had any questions. Thank God there was Wi-Fi around. But no, but they're, like I said, they're great. When you have a great team around you, it's just, you're building success around you, right?
Yeah. And I agree fully. And I've also found myself that when I give one of my team members an opportunity to empower them with responsibility and ownership, every one of them, every time, I may be lucky on this, but every one of them, every time has risen to that occasion.
Yeah. Same here.
And now they've gotten more invested in the mission.
Yeah.
When I just had them compartmentalized, just do your part, and you don't know what else is going on. So you don't really know where the ship is going. You're just simply dealing with one part of the ship. I felt that I thought I would get better results because I wouldn't confuse them with all the other parts. The opposite was true, that they were less involved because they didn't know what they were building.
Yeah.
Once I involved them in the whole thing, decision makings, high level decisions that they don't really have a part in, but we bring them to the table. Hey, John, what do you think? Shannon, what do you think? Sean, what do you think? Now it's less of a job. It's more of a lifestyle and a mission that they're on. That was a huge wake-up call to me is that's it. That's it. I love it. Great points. And I'm glad it's going that well for you. I got to say, you're like 7 years ahead of me. To get to where you are talking right now was like, 8 years for me. It's 2.5 for you. So who's your business coach, Jen? I need to get that.
No, I have to say, I've been, my dad's been in my ear quite a bit, and he's been GM at an automotive industry now for over 50 years. And I've seen him, struggle and make decisions and have to make decisions quick and trust people. And he's all about empowering people from within. So, just learning a lot from him has been amazing for me.
Oh, yeah. And you said that was your father?
My dad, yeah. Yeah.
Papa's.
And he's, 71 and still going at it. He's still running a facility there. So
nice work, Dad. Awesome. And teaching your daughter about empowering people from within.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the money right there. All of this, these are my rules and reminders for life. I say to people, I take life very seriously so I can enjoy the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And because people say, don't take life too seriously. It's like, no, if I was a professional hockey player, I would take hockey very seriously to enjoy it as much as possible. So however long I'm going to be on this planet, I want to do it really well. And sometimes I need some reminders. These are all about making me a better version of myself, like your dad was talking about.
Yeah.
But let's talk about some hard things here. Jen, one of the reasons we talk about hard things is it's just a core principle of my life. I talk about my purpose being something specific, but I bring my purpose into reality through difficult things. I don't think I can achieve my purpose that I've laid out for myself without doing difficult things, because I believe the reward from doing hard things is the character that you develop along the way, the skill set that you develop along the way. You can't get in great shape without painfully going through to the gym. You can't lose weight or gain weight without eating mundane, boring foods, very structured. You have to sleep. You can't learn great skills in entrepreneurship without working long hours, putting out a lot of fires, and reading books and going to courses, etc.
Yeah.
All of the greatest things in my life certainly came from the hardest earned, but those are chosen difficulties, like working out, like owning my own business. This question is about a hardship. It's about a trial that you went through in your life that in many cases wasn't chosen or was unexpected. And the reason we ask about this is often we find human beings don't share these stories. A failed relationship, a death, an illness, failed business, like something that we push underneath and we don't share because we like sharing our successes. When you go on social media, you see the brand new wife, husband, the brand new baby, the brand new house. Everything is shiny and sometimes even edited. So it's not a depiction of reality. Our lives are messy. Being a human is difficult. And my successes and my failures both have contributed to who I am today. So if I remove the negative, the failures, quote unquote negative, because I don't believe they are negative, I wouldn't be who I am today. And I would probably be a much lesser version. So I think celebrating the successes is big, but I think much bigger is understanding my failures and sharing those stories more. Because honestly, Jen, if I were being completely honest with you, I think I've grown more and had a larger and longer lasting rewards from my hardships than from my successes. I mean, if we just think about it, if I keep getting 100% on every test, that's
You're never going to try. Yeah.
Right. But that my brain tells me no need to change. You're doing everything right. But if I keep getting 50 or 60 on that same test, brain is saying, if you want to keep doing this thing, you must get better. Here's your opportunity.
Yeah.
So very simply put, have there been any trials, tribulations, hardships that you've been through that you're comfortable with sharing that probably sucked in the moment, but when you look back on it in hindsight, you wouldn't remove that ingredient from the recipe that has become you because it's led you to living the life that you do today?
I have to say I've been pretty lucky with life. My I can't say, that I've happy, healthy marriage. Kids are great. My childhood was amazing. I couldn't ask for anything more. Great parents, great family.
Well, you're just a unicorn then, Jen.
You're
making the rest of us jealous here.
I would say the hardest thing for me was this career change.
Let's talk about it. Why was it hard?
Just not being there for the kids and just being available at home as much as they're used to. I'd get my kids just in tears. Mom, why are you doing this? Why are you working so hard? Why are you there all the time? You're not at home. You're not here to help us. And, you're supposed to be changing and opening the store to make our lives better. How come, we went down to one income for 2 years in this economy, just grocery shopping. No, you can't have that extra bag of chips, or no, you can't have that candy. What do we need? Right. So that alone was hard. The kids weren't able to play soccer, or have any extra sports, swimming lessons, any of that kind of stuff, because it was extra costs that we couldn't afford at the time. Right.
Was this during COVID? Because you said the business has been around for 2.5 years. Or did
so
you try
we were actually at head office signing the paperwork for this franchise when they shut the borders down in the States.
Yeah.
So that
2020.
So that was an experience in its own. My husband and I were looking at each other like, what the heck are we doing here? Here we are about to sign for a business and everything is shutting down and we didn't know what was going on. My mom is phoning me. Do you need groceries? People are stealing groceries out of my cart and I'm guarding my carts and this is what's going on. And I thought, you guys are crazy. What's going on? And I didn't know the magnitude of it when I was there. And then, I have my family's calling me, you better get home. They're going to shut down the borders. And I thought, what? So, just getting on a plane home with 20 people on the flight, where the stewardess, like, you can pick anywhere you want to sit. You can dance up and down that plane. That was scary too. And, getting home and just going through all of that security at the airport and all that. We're like, so anyway, and they're like, don't worry, this is when our business thrives. This is fine. People have to watch their spending, and this is when they're going to come and thrift. But just trying to go through the whole process of finding real estate, it's a big expense too, right? Like doing the build out and all of that. And I kind of delayed it as much as I could, so we can open and be ready to go just when things were starting to clear up with COVID a little bit. So I tried to play it smart a little bit that way. But luckily, thank God, it didn't really affect us here. We were, you see all those businesses out there that opened up and had to shut down right away. So lucky for us, the timing kind of aligned for me here. I count my lucky stars all the time because that was an insane time. But yeah, going back to that, it was just mainly, it was hard with the kids. And I do see with my younger son, he's suffering with his school too. I wasn't as hands-on as I was with my daughter, because I was busy with this place all the time. So now I have him in tutoring or trying to have some extra help and trying to get him caught up. So that's kind of been hard for me because, I've always been hands-on with them as well, and kind of pulling back from them a little bit. And focusing on this place was really hard for me. So I think that's where, and just seeing the kids and, my friends are going here and my friends have that. Why can't I do that? So that was kind of tough on me.
Well, first off, thank you for sharing that. Second off, I'm happy that you've had such a happy life. I imagine if you thought more about it, there's some hardships in there. You've had a loss.
Yeah.
We've all gone through it. I've never met a good person that hasn't gotten their butt kicked in some way. Actually, the best people I know have gotten their butt kicks more than others in many cases.
Yeah.
But the reason we talk about the hardships is not just be like, hey, Jen, tell me your worst situations you've ever been through, you guy you've never met before, and then let's put it online. Like, it's a pretty crazy question to ask. It's because of the value that's derived from us sharing these things. Two things that I can think of. One, a lot of people are ashamed of their failures, of their whatever. I don't want to tell anybody about this. What will they think of me? If we can flip that mindset, you can be empowered by whatever opportunity. So that's one of the things why we ask this question. But the second part is, I think the real reward that comes from that is the learning. Mm-hmm. Right now, we're dealing with a lot of stuff in business, traveling, trips, teams growing. There's a lot of things. We've almost grown a little too fast. Actually, I would say that's the case. And now it's burning us out. We're morning to night asking more from the whole team. So we will come out of this. And the main thing is we will come out of this with at least two things. We'll find out that we're capable of it, at least for a short term. It's not going to be years of this. It'll probably be a month. We'll find out that we are capable of going into seventh gear. You saw it, you maxed out at 6. You're like, wow, I am capable of more. But learn that I don't want to live that way forever. 1 month, 2 months, fine. I'm not going to do that for 2 years because I have no life. But the second part is I can learn what to do to avoid this next time. Or I can learn the skills that I developed along this really brutal 2 months or 1 to 2 months to become more efficient, find out about better parts of my team, find out about skills they didn't have. So we go through these hard things like you did with your business and your family. There's always a learning. So what do you think came from that as a benefit from you, a benefit for you to go through that challenging time with being away from the kids, going through COVID, all of these changes? Can you identify one or two for us?
Just finding out my staff's strengths. They really pulled through, and they, just wanting to, hey, Jen, how do you do this or how do you do that? So they've been showing a little bit more interest. So I've been kind of like, hey, you know what? Okay, let's go become a key holder, or here, I'm going to give you this to do, or I'm going to give you that, you take care of social media on your end. So yeah, I think kind of finding out their strengths and what they're willing to learn, what they're willing to do. They're also really great with sharing ideas, which, can benefit the team. And I always tell them, hey, if there's a way that you guys feel that I can help you make your job easier, let me know. And let's see how we can work around it and be more efficient here. But yeah, I don't know, just
any personal learnings, like non-business?
I was just learning myself too, what I'm capable of. I like you'd say, you have go through all these trials and tribulations and being burnt out. Yeah, I could feel I was burnt out big time. And the kids, I'm sure, were, happy to see me now kind of, get pushed a little bit more to the staff where, okay, I can leave here at 3:00 and not go home and bite the kid's head off, because I'm just so stressed out here. So I'm sure they appreciate that more, but yeah, just kind of trying getting things in order here have it's taken its time and its share, but
sure,
I can't keep on these staff here. They're great, and they've helped me quite a bit too, where they'll just, okay, Jen, take 5 minutes, go get a coffee, go relax, or here, we'll do this for you, don't worry about it. They've been really helpful too with all of that.
So let me ask you this last part to this question. Are you happy that it happened the way that it did? Do you wish COVID didn't happen? You didn't have to learn these skills so rapidly. You didn't have the pressure of the kids. Do you think it made the situation better?
I wish I could split myself in half and have half of myself still working, earning an income in automotive, and half of myself here.
Oh, and in automotive, I wasn't going to say I didn't
for the first little bit. So we didn't have to go to a single income where I couldn't, I did run the two for a little bit until I couldn't manage it anymore. We also had a rental property too that I was managing and taking care of. So I was telling my husband, I'm like, enough is enough. I can't do all of this. And he literally goes to work and he comes home. So I was also taking care of all the bills at home and all the kids and it was just too much. So that's when I wish I could split myself in maybe 4. But yeah, no, I totally totally wish COVID didn't happen. I hear the success stories about other Style Encores that opened up pre-COVID versus after COVID, like I did, and they just boomed a lot faster than what we did. It's taking us a little bit longer to get going. But like I said, it's people still don't know about us, right? And thrifting, I feel, is still kind of new, and people are still kind of, turning around, kind of changing the way that they think, being a little bit more conscious with money. Maybe that's something great that's COVID has helped us with, because now people know, you got to save, you got to, be mindful of what you have. And you can't just be blowing your money and spending on, frivolously. You got to think about and budget yourself.
Yeah, there's different options out there for sure. Some people love to spend 10 grand on a suit tailored, right? And that's fine. Everybody has their right to live however they want. But for people like myself and many of us, it doesn't matter the class that you were raised in or the class that you're in right now based on income. It's what you like. Yeah. And frugality is what you like because you want that money to reinvest into your business, to go and travel, to whatever. Then now you have these other options. I think it's what you said before, is that thrifting has been around for a long, long time, but been put in pop culture, I think, is newish. Thrifting, to me anyways, again, very green, was like for people who couldn't afford anything else. It was,
and, I was there with my mom. She's been thrifting forever, and I'd stand outside of the store and be, "Ew, I'm not going in there."
Right. That's how it was marketed, or it was perceived by us anyways. But now it's a more affordable option to the same thing.
Yeah. Right? Look at you now, right?
So people just need to know, again, maybe a marketer could help you with that. I'll look into that for you. Great stories. I really appreciate you sharing that. One of the things is last 2 questions.
Sure.
What's the main thing you want the audience to know about Style Encore and Barrie? What's the main thing? If you're speaking directly to 1,000 of them right now, what would you want them all to know?
Just let them know that, we have a friendly environment here. You guys, everybody can come in. Everybody is welcome. And, we can help you out. If you are looking for cash, you need, we've had people come in looking for grocery money or gas money. You can sell your clothes, get some cash, and even maybe revamp your wardrobe a little bit too, and you're not, breaking the bank, and you could feel good about yourself. And you don't have to, like keeping up with the Joneses there and wearing all those brands and all of that stuff. You can do that and be smart about it and feel good about yourself. Right?
Yeah. Awesome. So if you are tight with money, it can be an option for you. If you're somewhere in the middle and just want some more options, it can be an option for you.
Yeah.
And if you really love your brands, some people want to pay brand prices. I've been in this conversation before. They're like, I paid $750 for those shoes. I'm like, that's a brag now. We used to brag about getting deals. Now it's like, no, I paid $4,000 for this thumbtack.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a really high price thumbtack, right? That's really high price shoes. So
actually, I can't remember, I heard on the radio recently too, but people are starting to brag about the good deals that they get.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That's the idea. Rather than bragging about, I mean, again, I'm not going to criticize anybody's way of life, but if let's just use a round figure. If you're making $100,000 a year and you spend $5,000 on a pair of shoes for one wedding, your financial advisor would say that was a poor choice.
Yeah.
Okay? That was a poor choice. You may love those shoes, but wearing them once, that amount of money, there's other options out there. So regardless of your class or income bracket, they can likely find something at your place, and know that if they're giving back, you can go to somebody else to help them. It's recycling. It's a lot of benefits. So I love that message. What's the best way for people to find out about you, Jen, and Style Encore in Barrie?
I think probably just following us on our social media. We do post a lot. We're on Facebook and Instagram, so you can look for us at Style Encore Barrie. We do post a lot of information about the store, how to sell to us. We talk about events that are coming up. We even, do product posts of, how to style things or putting outfits together or things that we're looking for. Yeah. So, and we actually started radio recently too, which is pretty cool. A lot of people are coming in and saying that they've heard our radio ads. So that's pretty neat.
What channel are you on?
93.1.
93.1. Yeah. Beautiful. So when did the radio start? They got to you before me, those buggers.
Yeah.
When did that start?
One of the employees there actually just popped in, and it was during my build out, and she just kind of, can I come in? And I said, yeah, come on in. So we sat down and we had a whole chit chat, and she was great. She loved the whole idea. And now she comes here, her daughters come here, and it's awesome. So she's always thinking about us, whenever they have promotional things going on at the radio or whatever. And, she's always in contact with me. So it's awesome that you build all these little relationships, right?
Oh yeah. It's fantastic. Yeah. Okay. So we got Style Encore Barrie is the name for Instagram and Facebook. They have to type in Barrie. Style Encore Barrie, Instagram, Facebook. Beautiful. We got a phone number.
Yep. So you could reach us at 705-797-0307.
Beautiful. Address? So
we're at 555 Essa Road in Barrie, Ontario. So it's L4N6A9. And most people can find us when we tell them that we're in the Food Basics Plaza.
Beautiful. Website?
So it's just styleencore.com. You can actually filter in like a little bit down from there. You can go to, you can Google Style Encore Barrie, and you will actually find our website on there. You can even shop online too. We have e-commerce going on as well too. So that's something else that we spend time on in store that actually people don't, I should have mentioned that before. People don't know that we do e-commerce. So we ship all across Canada as well. So it's been pretty neat.
Love it. Yeah. This has been a great conversation. I will say most of the podcasts go between like 50 minutes and an hour, but I selfishly took an hour and a half of your time because I enjoyed it. That's why I did it.
No, it's been great. I love doing this. I can sit and talk all the time. And, like I said, I can have conversations with, whoever comes in the door, and the girls are like, Jen, like, everybody's backstory here. I'm like, sorry, I can't help it. I just get talking to them. Right. Yeah.
Well, then I feel like you're in the right place. You're all smiles. You're all joy. You've had a smile this entire time. I imagine your cheeks are hurting. But no, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. Thanks for sharing all that you have. And I really look forward to coming to your store. I've been in that area so many times, and hopefully you get some mail stuff going on soon.
We will. I promise.
Beautiful. Well, until we chat again, Jen, you have a great afternoon.
Thank you. You too.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast Midhurst. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpmidhurst.com. That's gnpmidhurst.com or call 705-413-3775.